Hello and welcome to Barb Talks. Today we're out in nature on this beautiful spring day. Behind me are the cherry blossoms, which represent spring and renewal and the brevity of life. So to enjoy the present, that's in Asian cultures. On this side, we have got the pear blossoms, and again, just beautiful. Listening to the birds singing and the nature just exploding. Let's take a look at a few more of the plants that are alive and rejoicing and celebrating spring. There is the beautiful house with the spring garden begun. The herbs are jumping out. We've got lemon balm and spearmint. Lots of lemon balm and spearmint to pick. Sorrel. This is leaf sorrel, makes delicious soup and salads with its lemony leaves. Got some yarrow growing there. And some, I believe that's called grape hyacinth. Looks like little grapes. And we have another floral plant there that I'm really not sure what it is. I'm more familiar with the edible plants because I want to make sure I can eat them. I've got chives in the ground and chives in a pot and some tulips. They're so pretty. Oregano, another wonderful medicinal edible. And look at the blossoms of this blackcurrant. The blossoms have a clove smell and are just perfuming the air so beautifully. This is a Crandall blackcurrant, which makes delicious berries as well. Oh, looky here. We have forget-me-nots. They're happy little blue faces with yellow in the middle and a little black dot. Some more leaf sorrel. And the raspberries. These are red raspberry. Companion planted with oregano. I have little toys hidden in my garden. Right there is a bunny. I also have an angel and more bunnies. There's an angel and a bunny. Just for fun. A little bit of whimsy in the garden. The oregano looks so happy. I'll be harvesting that and donating it to the senior center probably this next week. There's another bunny in the garden. We've been finding actual real bunnies hopping around in our neighborhood, which has been kind of fun for me to see them there. Our parking strip, more oregano, some rosemary, lemon balm, and this is the flowering part of, it has a different name, but I call it money plant. It gets the little coins on it when it goes to seed, but the flowers of it are just beautiful as well. They just happen to be in our parking strip this year, as well as another plant. I'm not sure what this is, but we'll find out when it flowers because it looks like it's got something to flower there. This is I think it's a type of onion that I just planted a bulb out here years ago, and it looks like it has certainly expanded to several bulbs now. It's another one of the things I love about the garden, is you just never know what excitement is going to show its little face every year. And the enjoyment, the beauty just for the eyes, the feast for the eyes of the herbs and the flowers mixed together. as well as the feast for the palate. Fig tree. You've got teeny tiny figs. These first figs oftentimes don't ripen in our area. I think they're called Breber figs. But I leave them on there anyway, just in case. Usually it's the fall that we get the figs ripening. But I prune my knee-grown fig. I do that every year so that I can keep it small enough so that I can still walk the pathway in my garden. But the fig tree looks good. Pear tree looks happy. That's the nice thing about pruning. When you prune a tree so that it's happily fitting in the space that it is in, it always seems to grow better. There's this symbiosis, or I think I'm using the right word, of people caring for nature and nature giving back. There's a book I just read called Braiding Sweetgrass that discusses this concept of enjoying nature and caring for it, and then being open to the blessings that it brings in food, in beauty, in comfort. This is the apple tree. So apple blossoms are available this time of year as well in the spring. So I just wanted to show the beauty that's available in the springtime and the life that not all of these blossoms will turn into apples or pears, but it's just beautiful to see them now. And the cherry blossoms, of course, on the cherry tree, it's an ornamental cherry, so there won't be any fruit on that tree. Oh, here's something that I've done differently this year. Every year what I do is I get an apple, but this year the squirrels were grabbing my apples, so I tried a sweet pepper that I put in the tree and coated with Tangle Trap. So you can see the little bugs on it. All those little bugs, if they weren't captured by the sticky of the Tangle Trap that is coating that sweet pepper, those little bugs would have been attracted to the pink of the blossom and would have laid their eggs inside the blossom. And then when the eggs hatched, they would be inside an apple. And that's where wormy apples come from, is by these little flies putting their eggs into the blossoms of an apple tree. So what I do that is something that is better than spraying everything with poison is every year before these blossoms open, before they get to this point, see how they're really pink at the early blossom form? Before they get to that point, I take a cheap red apple that has a sturdy stem, and I tie on a piece of yarn, and then I coat it with Tangle Trap, which is a sticky substance. And then those flies that put worms in apples will stick to the sticky stuff. Like I said, they go towards the reddest thing on the tree, and a red apple is redder than a pink blossom. We've got some more raspberries here. These are the blonde raspberries. I don't see any berries yet. Oh, wait a minute. Got just the beginnings of some berries there. But of course you can use raspberry leaf in teas. If you're going to harvest that, of course you just take a little bit and you thank the plant. And then you don't pick the berry off with it. You just pick a little leaves and put that in your tea for raspberry leaf tea. So let's take a look at what's going on in the backyard. When we had our house painted, we had to cut back the hydrangea bush, and I'm not sure what this evergreen is, but we had to cut it back too. But it'll grow back. Take a look at the backyard. I usually go the other way to get back here, so it's kind of fun to see a different view this time. Talk about spring blossoms and talk about delicious smell. The lilac tree. Ah, I gotta smell this. Ah, it smells so good. We had a lilac tree growing up, and I always wanted one. And then what happened was our neighbors planted a lilac tree, and its roots snuck under the fence. And so I just took really good care of those roots, and now I've got a lilac tree. It's interesting how when your heart wants something, how it has a way of just kind of coming to you. And then by the work of nurturing it yourself. Over here, we have got the wood sorrel that has come back after the paint job that we had done. We also have some ferns coming back. I'm not sure what kind these are. I've heard that fiddlehead ferns are edible. I should probably identify these and find out if they're the edible kind or not. Here's a begonia. I really should transplant it into the sun. It used to be in the sun years ago, and I ended up having to replace the fence, so I planted it over here temporarily and then never replanted it anywhere. It doesn't do as well blossoming in this area because it's full shade. But here's the glory of the backyard. I love our backyard. Love our front yard too. Raspberries, I got them all staked up this year with rope so they're easier to pick. Oh, and I also have a healthy little dandelion down here. Some leaves that I can use in soups. Several dandelions. The aronia bush. I think I showed it last time, and it didn't have any buds on it yet. Now it does. So this should be opening up into flowers anytime as well, with another beautiful smell. The goji berry bush has goji leaves. I just learned recently that the goji leaves are edible as well, not just the berries. So I think they're medicinal, so I need to look into that. Some more raspberries. I pruned the persimmon, the Issue persimmon, last year so that there's not a branch coming out here, so I can put a bench there and we can sit under that. Also, the branch was dead, so figured might as well prune it off. Sometimes trees and plants let you know when they're ready to let go by just dying, so you can observe their wishes and do what they like. And here's a little volunteer calendula bush, or calendula flower, with its happy little face. Don't want to put my camera lens over it. Now something has been eating this plant. So I hope whatever it is has been happy. We've got our bay tree, which is more like a bay limb now. It goes up really tall. When we had a freeze a couple years ago, it killed off a couple of the trunks. So we've had to cut those down. But look what it's doing. We've got new growth that's coming in. So a bay can be a bush or it can be a tree. And by having some of the limbs die, we kind of have a bush at the bottom and a tree at the top right now. And our western red cedar, which I just discovered last fall, you can use the leaves to make a delicious tea. and our camellia bush. And I just learned that tea is made out of a particular camellia leaf, but this isn't the official tea leaf on this camellia. However, I have read that the leaves on even common camellias can be used as herbal tea. I haven't tried that yet, but I plan to. Look at all those beautiful blossoms. When I look out my bedroom window, this is what I see, is the camellia bush and its blossoms in springtime. The rose bush is looking happy. The red growth, when spring first gets here, everything is just red growth. Everything looks like this on this particular type of rose bush, and I don't know what kind it was because it was here at the house before we moved in and it wasn't labeled. But as the bush matures, it gets kind of a red-green leaf and then goes into a straight green leaf. But we have some little roses that are looking pretty healthy. I don't see any bugs on them yet, which is good. Had to cut this back a little bit because of a freeze that we had, the pineapple guava, but it doesn't seem to be too upset about that. Still seems to be happy. Brought out the seeding since it's spring and it's starting to get nicer weather, not as much rain. So we'll spend more time out here enjoying the garden. Thanks for taking a tour with me through my garden today, and thanks for watching Barb Talks.